Time to get caught up on Mandalorian episodes. Hey there, it's Tom with Tom Tech Show, and I gotta get caught up on these Mandalorian episodes. It's crazy because things were coming and I was hearing about, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I watched them all, and so let's kind of review them real quick here to get to the end. So, uh, the first one that I kind of left off with was Chapter 12, Season 2, Episode 4, which was The Siege. And this was pretty good. They went after an Empire base that was on this one planet that, you know, possibly a launching thing for some other attack against, the area. Who knows what was going on? But the cool thing about it was here, it was directed by Carl Weathers, which was amazing and wonderful. So, and had Gina Carano back in it. I can't get enough of Gina. She just has a great character. She's just real. You gotta love her Twitter feed and everything else about her. Just amazing. And we had this Mithril character who was just the comedy of the episode. I mean, it was pretty action, good amount of action, good amount of Star Wars kind of stuff. They had speeder bikes. We had little transports and things like that. They blow up the base, of course, in the end. Surprise, that's a shock. And then they end up, the child throwing up because the ship is spinning around. It was just a fun episode. I really liked this one. I'm not going to go deep too much into some of these till we get to the end, of course. So we see that Moff Gideon has had a tracker placed on the Razor Crest at the end, so now he's going to know, where they are and stuff and what's going on. So in the next episode 5, we get to this kind of an odd, out of place kind of episode. It's like, let's just stick an episode in here so we can have, Ahsoka Tano and kind of appease people who want her character to be in something. And it was a pretty okay episode. I mean, I thought that they had, they went to the village and everybody changes side. They want to hire the Mandalorian to go kill the Jedi, but he's really looking for the Jedi, so that works. So, it seems like one of the extra episodes, and I wish they would have done a little bit more if they're going to have Ahsoka Tano be in an episode, to be something more than just this. Oh, it's just an episode where she's just killing people, back and forth and everything else. I mean, I had hoped I was going to be able to get past, Rosario Dawson's, kind of politics and things like that, but it still didn't quite get with me. I'm like, kind of standoffish about it. But an okay episode. So we get to chapter 14, which is episode 6, which is the tragedy, which we have a lot of people coming back. So we've got Boba Fett actually back, the same actor as from Star Wars way back when. The Ming-Na Wen, Fennec, and and of course Gina Carano again. Always a good episode when she's in it. So this is where they have to take the child who is now called Grogu, which I just can't. I'm like, it seems like a baby name, Goo Goo Gaga kind of thing, and I really am not liking it. So I don't know if they're going to change the name or do whatever. I probably, obviously not, but it seems a little bit babyish. But anyway, so they have to take the child to this special planet. So they put him on this rock in the middle of this kind of Jedi-ish temple, and then this little blue flame, kind of smoke flame, kind of beam comes out, and that's supposed to call Jedi and let Jedi know that he's here, ready to embrace his Jedi training and everything. So through the whole episode, boom, the Mandalorian's ship gets blown up, which okay, what are we gonna do with that now? So everybody jumps onto Boba Fett's ship. The old the Iron, right? The clothes iron ship, and they take off after that because the child's been taken, and now we got to go off and try and save him. So now we have the Believer episode. This one is, let's see, the Believer, 16, the rescue. So the Believer, I went too far. Okay, here we go. The Believer, they have to break into this Imperial facility in order to get the coordinates of Moff Gideon, and they bring a guy out of prison in order to, help them because he's got access to Empire stuff, and they break in there, and it's a lot of it's really extremely Empire-y, Star Warsy, which was really good, which I thought was pretty good. A lot of chase scenes and things like that. So they get the information, and then they let the guy who was in prison go because he helped them out and all that. So, and did a little extra. So I'm like, okay, well, that's good. So we got information now. It seems that you have all these little MacGuffins. Okay, we got to do this, and we got to go here. We got to do this, so we got to go here. We got to do this, so we got to go here. So, and I guess that makes it more episodic, but it'd be nice if there maybe were some two-parter kind of things in the series to where you could cliffhang something and move on. But anyway, so now the final episode, which is the rescue, and we start getting introduced to all of the Dark Troopers, which were in. I used to play the Star Wars games forever, and way back when Dark Forces 2, Jedi Knight, all those things, they had Dark Troopers in there. That was one of the things of the game, was to go and find out what the Dark Troopers were, and then you defeat the Dark Trooper at the end of some of the games. And that it's kind of the same thing. It's nice to see the same kind of theme being brought forward and and used again, something that's we know is in the gaming world and kind of that kind of canon part, and being able to be used and seen again. I mean, through this episode, we find Moff Gideon. We got to go and get the Bo-Katan character, Katie Sackhoff, and we're bringing everybody together, right? We got Boba Fett, we got Cara Dune, we got Koska Reeves, we got all the different characters. I'll bring them together because it's the last episode, which is good. It's a nice ending to the season. Katie Sackhoff's character, I really don't care for it much. I think she's playing a little too much Battlestar Galactica character here, so I think she could have changed it up a little bit. I don't know. Her character gets a little irritating to me, so a little less of her on screen, I guess, would be okay for me, and more Gina Carano. That's my take, but anyway, we'll go with it. So the whole thing is they get to Moff Gideon's ship. They got it. The Bo-Katan wants to go take the ship and then go back and use that to take back Mandalore. And now Mandalorian has to go to the prison cell in the ship and then get Grogu out of there. But Moff Gideon's there, and they have some type of interaction, which you knew kind of what was going to happen. A lot of this was like, okay, so this is exactly what's going to happen. And I know, just like when they get to the part where all the Dark Troopers are there, and the Dark Troopers are released, and they're coming after them, and they get the doors closed, and they blow the hatch on the other side, and they all go out into space. And it's like, well, they'll be back, obviously. So, we're being a little predictable. And I think the only thing that they hid very well in the episodes and everything else, and kept anybody from knowing until the episode aired, was at the end when they need, the Dark Troopers are coming and they're going to get in there and don't have any recourse to go, what are we going to do now? We're not going to be able to defend ourselves against all these Dark Troopers. To have the X-Wing show up and have the cloak figure walk down the ship and just using his lightsaber to just wipe out all these dark troopers all the way to, the bridge of the ship. Is like, yeah, that has to be Luke. That's the only one that it can be. This is not, but this isn't, the Disney Last Jedi Luke Skywalker. This is Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker. This is, the Luke Skywalker that we all love, that we all know. The reason for Star Wars to be successful, to be what it is, was Luke Skywalker. And how he did the hero's arc and, and failed and then had to try and get back up. He had lost his arm, all these different things, that whole hero's arc, getting him back to where he could understand his past and recognize that it's his father, but that doesn't have to be who he is, and then redeem his father, all these different, just such an amazing character arc through those stories. And now we have him coming, at the last minute, obviously because they put the child on the little rock and it had the blue, beam going out, which obviously called Luke Skywalker to come and find them. So that was just awesome. That creates so many other problems for Disney, because now they have to take this character that everybody is screaming and yelling and cheering for, like, oh my gosh, this is Luke Skywalker, this is who he's supposed to be, this is what I wanted, this is how I want Luke Skywalker to be forever. How do we change all the other Disney movies, Disney Star Wars things, to get rid of that and replace it with this Luke Skywalker? How do we do that? Well, Disney can't do that. They've already put these movies out. It's already part of Disney Star Wars canon. So you're stuck. So the question, I guess, would be, is Disney going to continue with, the next season of The Mandalorian still having Luke Skywalker in it, Mark Hamill, as the real Mark Hamill Luke Skywalker that we wanted to see, needed to see, throughout the entire Disney Star Wars part of the franchise? And my other question would be, so that because they're digitally de-aging or adding Mark Hamill's face to somebody else and using his voice or whatever they are doing, are they going to have a scene in season 3 with Han, Chewie, Luke, Leia, 3PO, and R2-D2 all together, like all the fans screamed about in The Force Awakens? Why don't we have this scene? Every Marvel movie that you see, every Avengers movie has the superhero shot, right? Where, they're protecting something and all of them are together and they pan around and they see them all in the scene at the same time. There's a scene where they're going to attack a building and they all get together and they're all moving forward all at the same time. You have that hero shot with all of your heroes right there in one spot. You're like, okay, there they are. That's the team that's going forward. And we never got that in Star Wars. They split it all up. They did a horrible job. Nobody was thinking, oh, gee, who could that be? But, we need that. And maybe that's what we're going to get. That's what I hope to get in season 3 of The Mandalorian. Right? We need a shot with, we could de-age, Harrison Ford. We can de-age Mark Hamill. We can digitally replace Leia. We have a new guy in the suit for Chewbacca, and we got C-3PO and R2-D2, and we can put them all in one spot, and we can have a scene, and we can, even if it's for like 10 or 15 seconds, that is like they interact a little bit for 10 or 15 seconds at some starbase or something, anywhere, and then they all fly off in their own directions. Boom. You will have the entire Star Wars fandom go ballistic. They will explode, right? You will get people back and subscribing to Disney Plus like you would not believe. Right. Okay, well, that's all of Mandalorian and my other thoughts and everything else. I mean, Disney's painting themselves into a corner with the Luke thing, but they're not going to retcon or do anything else to the other movies. They're out there. So we got to take what we get. And so far, it's just The Mandalorian. Hopefully, some of the other shows that they've announced and stuff that are coming up will be better. Will be like this. Will be in this fashion. So, anyway, thanks for listening, watching, everything else. If you got any comments, did you like it? Would you prefer they found some other solution that rather than Luke showing up at the end to the episode? I don't know. Maybe they could have done something else. Had somebody else fly up. Maybe it could have been, younger Han Solo flying up. Who knows what it could have been? All right. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you.